Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, welcome back to Owlet Season 4, Week 4. My name is Warren Jugglegod Hammond, and I am joined tonight in the casting booth by Cesian. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. And
Fantastic.
Just ready to see these matches and get this rolling.
Absolutely. We've got a very, very exciting match for you tonight. And if you were tuned in last night, we had a banger of a match then. I think we're going to have a fantastic match again tonight because we have two teams that are currently 3-0 in Owlet. And in addition, not only are they 3-0, they are actually tied in map differential as well. This is as close of a tie as you could possibly have, I think. So I can't wait to see what both of these teams bring to the table.
Yeah, and obviously, like, the team at the top of the standings, Paradise, Tempest, they're completely undefeated. But these two teams, they have had a few maps dropped. Danger Close Red dropping some maps to Rogue Dragons, who, and then also to Phoenix as well. But looking at the teams that they've played, none of these teams that they've played have really been in this upper half of the teams in the standings. So this is going to be definitely a test for both of them, being the last match in the stage. This will definitely decide, at the very least, where they're seeded into the stage playoffs. So this is a very important match for both of these, and if either of these teams can win 3-0, it's going to give them a big edge going into those playoffs.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. Growluwu, this is my first time casting one of their matches, and I learned just the other day while watching one of their previous matches, they are apparently a team that is made up entirely of Masters players, but they are playing on off roles. And I even heard that they made some kind of announcement. I don't know if this is, I haven't verified this, but they made an announcement that they weren't even going to scrim. They were just going to come in and have fun on these games. So they sound on paper like kind of a meme team, but their 3-0 record says otherwise.
Yeah, and obviously, one thing that I've seen, especially from Team Growluwu, is even though they are playing off roles, and even though they are not quite taking it as seriously as probably some of these other teams as far as scrimming and maybe VOD reviewing, they're still playing real comps. It's not like they're playing mystery heroes. So they definitely are still here to win. Even if they are on off roles and if they're not scrimming, they're here to win. So it's going to be a very good match going into this. And then we have DCR, obviously, on their main roles. So we might see where DCR might have the edge, might be more in like mechanics, individual skill, like from a player to player base. But on Growluwu, you might see more of the better macro decisions, a lot of the just like game knowledge that they have that might be able to give them an edge.
Yeah, very true. And this isn't to say that that Danger Close Red is made up of scrubs. They all have some very, very very talented players individually. Especially I think their tank line and their flex DPS.
Yeah, and we are starting at Lijiang Tower with Control Center. This is definitely where you see a lot of those Brawl comps. Both of these teams kind of hovering maybe some meme picks right now. See the Bastion. But now we are starting to see the comps that we do generally see, the Ryan Zarya with the Junk Sim having a lot of spam, and they're probably going to play towards that White Room area. But we'll have to see what Growluwu decides to play. They are going to switch over to, it looks like they're going to be playing Ryan Orisa, and I wonder if Vati's going to stick on this Bastion here.
Yeah, as do I. All right, both teams are out of the gates, and looks like, yeah, they are both going to rotate to White Room, or to Server, rather. And yeah, it looks like Danger Close Red really has the control of the point, although Growluwu has decided to take the perch right above him and see if they can't just rain down some damage from above. Nobody really making a big push at the moment. We have Bastion, though, trying to find an angle where he can rain some damage down. The Immortality Field comes out from the side of Danger Close Red, and Frog Life, unfortunately, already goes down due to Vati's ridiculous Bastion. He also takes down the main tank, and it looks like first point is going to go over to Team Growluwu.
Yeah, it was very nice strategy. Growluwu does die in the back end, but the team will probably be fine. But actually, there might be a recontest coming in here. But taking that Bastion high ground and teleporting him to the other side of the point, trying to draw Danger Close Red out into the open where the Bastion could shoot down is exactly what won that their fight there.
Absolutely. All right, and it looks like Danger Close Red is back. They've already actually made a pretty significant presence on point, pushing back Growluwu, and in fact, the Immortality Field from Kurtik has to come out to save him, but it's not enough to keep Tal up. And it looks like we're going to see some people dropping from the side of Team Growluwu, but it looks like the rest of the members that are left are staging quite a battle, and they're going to take the point back.
That was looking a little bit promising there for Danger Close Red. They actually are still trying to come in, but they actually will just back off. Grab invested from Saucer, though, and it only bought them 11%. So not exactly what you're looking for. You really do need to win that. And they definitely had the advantage going into that match, or into that fight. But it was pulled off by Growluwu with the flank on that Hog, who's actually still on the flank. But they do seem to know where he is.
Yeah, they're very aware that he's in the back. He tries to get a hook, misses. We get a tire coming out from Final Gambit. Let's see if he can find any value. He's got it right behind Tal. Is he going to get anything? No, he doesn't. And in the meantime, Growluwu was able to find a pick on Final Gambit with that tire. While he was tossing that tire, Shatter comes in, catches a few. Growluwu pops the Primal, or sorry, not the Primal Rage, but the whole Hog, pushing members of Danger Close Red off point, and it looks like they're going to hold on to it once again.
Yeah, and this Bastion and the Sim, I love how they're using the Sim teleporter to get the Bastion into an area that Danger Close Red cannot reach. Frog for Life switching over to the McCree here for this last fight. And now this is danger territory. No ults here for Danger Close Red.
No ults coming into this, but no ults, actually 3 ults now all of a sudden up on the side of Growluwu, and already they're finding value from their support line. Their support line is popping off at the moment. Look at this. Nice job, Kartik and Y. And there's nothing really that Danger Close Red can do to recap that point.
Yeah, and I would honestly say that was basically 100-0, except there was the point where Danger Close Red was able to flip the point just for a short amount of time. But in general, Danger Close Red not really understanding how to deal with this Bastion. It's definitely not something you run into every day. And now Egg Cushion onto the Doomfist, but it's just very hard to deal with that Bastion when he is in such an area where it's hard to actually reach him. But this definitely is a map where that kind of stuff can happen, especially if you do get creative with the Sim teleporter, but Vati does look to be switching over to the Sim, and both teams probably looking to just teleport straight to point here and fight. But Egg Cushion being on this Doomfist might catch Danger Close Red off guard, being able to have that one-shot potential onto that Sim.
Absolutely, and we see the fight starting to break out already on point. TP's come out from both sides, and the point is very quickly going over to an incredibly organized and frankly terrifying-looking Growluwu. I've got to say, so far tonight, they look like they're a little bit more Growl and a little less Uwu.
Yeah, for sure, and I think definitely that Doom Engage out of the teleporter, really good pick onto Frog for Life. They're going to have to wait for that to come back. But the Doomfist is very good into the Symmetra because she puts out a lot of consistent damage, but can't really end up another pick from Growluwu.
Oh, wow. Unlucky.
But this Doomfist is definitely something where if Sim gets caught by the Doomfist, there's not much she can do in that direct 1v1. Why going a little bit too deep? But what is this? A fight taken into their spawn.
Yeah.
Oh, Growluwu finding 2 picks.
Growluwu getting very, very aggressive here, just finding one pick after the other, while Danger Close Red is trying to get set up. They're just saying, nope, you don't have any space to do that. You're going to set up, you're going to have to set up in spawn.
Yeah, this is actually, they're just kind of sitting here. They're going to be spawn camping now. Egg Cushion onto this high ground here. Now.
Oh, window comes out from the side of Growluwu, and it looks like Growluwu is getting a tremendous amount of value tonight so far on this Hog, especially with their whole Hog, knocking so many people back, and Danger Close Red is just going to have to regroup one more time and spawn. Oh, and Body's still getting picked. And look at this, I don't know if production sees this or not, but Y is just spawn camping right underneath him. Looks like he's going to try and get some cheeky boops or something, but this is just a ridiculously dominant performance so far from the side of Growluwu. I don't know what Danger Close Red can do. And Deadeye comes out from the side from Frog Life. He doesn't catch anybody, and instead it looks like Growluwu once again taking the control of this fight. Kills coming in left and right for them, and it's just everything that Danger Close Red can do to get out. And we see, though, very quickly, Xavier EXE trying to get to point on this ball with the rest of Growluwu chasing him, while the rest of the members of the team just continue to get picked on point. And oh my gosh, a big boot from Y to finish off Lijiang Tower and give the win over to Team Growluwu.
Yeah, honestly, that wasn't really even close. I mean, if you're getting spawn camped on a King of the Hill, and now we're going to see this play of the game from Growluwu, and I must confess, or never mind, we're going to just skip it, but I am an off-tank player, and I don't even have the Roadhog cute spray. So Growluwu getting 3 kills, environmental kills with that whole hog, definitely not something you see every day, especially in the enemy spawn. That's definitely not something you see every day. And I think it's just Growluwu just being able to get a lot more value with their off angles, just playing together as a team, and DCR kind of being more indecisive and just not really knowing how to deal with these off angles and not knowing like when to push up and who to push up onto. So a lot of like definitely the macro play that I was talking about earlier that Growluwu might have from being a Masters team on off rolls is definitely showing up, where DCR just kind of look a little bit lost at the moment. So they'll need to refocus going into this map too, because honestly, there are a lot of things that need to change if they are going to pull this back in their favor.
Absolutely, and I think you mentioned Growluwu popping off that match, which is absolutely true. But to be perfectly honest, I think to me at the moment it looks like a bit of a team diff. It just looks like Growluwu is just phenomenally coordinated compared to DCR, and I don't know what kind of changes do you think DCR can make to come back and be more competitive on this next map, which, by the way, looks like it is going to be Route 66.
Yeah, so one of the things we saw a lot of is Growluwu on those flanks with the Roadhog. And it's something where when you have people on flanks, you need to be able to punish that or rotate your team in a way where you kind of avoid that area altogether. So DCR, they were just kind of lost in, do we push forward onto Tal, the main tank, or do we turn and deal with Growluwu? But once they push forward onto Tal, Growluwu gets a pick. And they never really tried to push Growluwu, which if he's a Roadhog, if he doesn't have any help from his team, it's very easy to force him out if you just take the extra time to just run him down. But also, I think just the comps that Growluwu was playing was definitely definitely the first map on Control Center, having that Bastion through DCR off guard, and then I think just the Doomfist out the gate on Night Market single-handedly won that the entire thing, because Egg Cushion was able to get that beautiful seismic slam uppercut combo, which immediately eliminates the Symmetra on DCR, and then you lose all your damage, because when you're playing that comp with the Symmetra, you need to keep your sim alive. If your sim is able to charge up her beam to tier 3 and just consistently pump out damage, especially regenning ammo on her shields, it's going to be very hard to deal with that. And that's why you often see Doom as a pick into it, because Doom can just either roll out onto Symmetra, and there's not a whole lot. She can't kill Doom even with tier 3 beam before he kills her. So if Doom can find that pick, which he did, it's definitely an uphill battle. But now we're going to be going to Route 66, where we could see some pirate shit coming out. But also, this is a map where I think we're going to see less of those more kind of control-specific maps, or comps, excuse me, where we see more of like the junk and the sim. We see Danger Close Red on your standard brawl with the Mei and the Kree. It's definitely something you're going to see a lot, but honestly, I think what Growluwu is running right now is a little bit of a disrespect comp, in the sense that they just probably hit select on whichever hero popped up on their screen once they went into game, but this is definitely not your ideal comp, but we'll have to see if they can make it work.
And this is fascinating. They're going for a very, very close hold here on Route 66, which I feel like is something you don't see too terribly often. And, oh, big nade coming in from Peridot, though. Doesn't really find any value, and Growluwu is there to try and punish her with a hook, but she fortunately gets away. And it looks like Team Growluwu is going to have to do something because Danger Close Red is getting some of this cart pushed. Body, however, does find a pick on Final Gambit, as does Tal on Xavier EXE, the main tank of Danger Close Red. And it looks like, yeah, despite the cart getting pushed just a little bit, Danger Close Red's going to have to try again.
Yeah, and a lot of this has to do with, like I said last map, the indecisiveness. Growluwu is playing very well around these off angles. They have Kartik and Egg Cushion shooting into them as they try to push the rest of the group inside of the car. But I think, honestly, they could just push directly in there, but Frog for Life finds Egg Cushion on that Widow.
For Life gets a nice headshot on Egg Cushion, absolutely. And it looks like this could be an opening for Danger Close Red. Final Gambit drops a tire. We're going to see if it can find any value. On the other side, though, Y decides to pop the Coalescence. Tire running around does find Growluwu. That is a big pick for the side of Danger Close Red. Saucer is out of mech, though, so we're going to have to see if she can find enough damage to get back in. Otherwise, she could be a real liability for the side of Danger Close Red. Xavier EXE finding Y, and it looks like eventually they're going to get some of this cart pushed, as long as they can deal with that Widow of Egg Cushion, who does in fact find Saucer. Beat comes in from the side of Paradroid as they finally start to get a little bit more pushed through, but Growluwu counters with a Primal Rage onto Tall and a Nano, so that is a healthy monkey in the back line that's gotta have to be dealt with. Egg Cushion finds some value again, takes out Paradot, so that's the main heals down for the side of Danger Close Red. Big bomb coming in from Saucer, finally takes out Kartik, the main heals for the side of Team Growluwu, and the Danger Close Red is finally going to get this cart pushed up to the gas station.
Yeah, but these staggers are going to end up biting Growluwu. Vati can't get out here. It's going to be very trouble. Re-engage from Growluwu does get slept, but Vati actually takes out Xavier EXE. This is a mess of a match, but the cart is still going to be pushing. But Tall does get stuck by Frog for Life.
Yeah, and it looks like there's just 2 players left on the side of Danger Close Red on point, but that's going to be enough, at least for the moment, to get a little bit more cart pushed. But it looks like they're going to maybe decide to... No, they're going to decide to try and push a little bit more. They've got to deal with 2 snipers, though. One in Egg Cushion and one in Kartik. Tire comes out again from Final Gambit. He's under the Mega. Let's see if he can find any value with it. It's up on top of Big Girls. It's going back to point. He's trying to make it... do something with it, but eventually goes down. Egg Cushion, in the meantime, and Growluwu find a couple of picks on the side of Danger Close Red. But this cart is all the way now to the gate right next to the start of point B. And as the picks keep coming in for the side of Team Growluwu, it looks like Danger Close Red's going to have to try again.
Yeah, and Xavier onto the Winston now. And definitely, this is probably the most chaotic Route 66 point A I've ever seen. It's just been constant fighting the entire time. Makes it hard to analyze any of it before the action comes forward. But it is just a lot of not really getting a whole lot of value out of these ults. Growluwu going into the backline onto Frog for Life.
Ooh, and Frog for Life goes very, very low. And in the meantime, Vadi is able to find a pick on Paradroid. Growluwu finally finishes off Frog for Life, and it looks like Danger Close Red is in a lot of trouble. They might not be able to cap this first point as the timer ticks down to overtime. Y's got the Coalescence on point, and that is too much damage and healing for Team Danger Close Red to deal with. Saucer tries to get value out of a Diva Bomb, but can't get anything before she's picked off. Egg Cushion finding a pick onto Frog for Life, and the kills just keep coming in, and I think this is going to be a first point hold for Team Growluwu.
Yeah, I don't know if production saw that, but it was kind of like an alley-oop. Tall in the Primal Rage was booping. I think it was whoever was playing Junkrat. I don't remember, but
Final Gambit.
Final Gambit. Boop Final Gambit into the air, and Egg Cushion just mid-air shot him. It was a nice little alley-oop there. But a lot of what's happening here, one of the reasons you do decide to close hold on maps like Route 66 is because if you're able to hold on in their spawn for a while, like Growluwu was able to, you can not only build up ult economy, but as you saw, it took multiple ults from the side of Danger Close Red to even move the cart, and even then, Growluwu was still keeping it very, very competitive. And it's just definitely one of those things where, you know, if you take a close hold and maybe you die first, it doesn't pay off because then you're giving the ult advantage to the attacking team. However, if you are able to win a fight or two holding close, not only do you build ult economy, but you're also making it so that you still have one or two contests left. So if you force the attacking team to use ults to even break your spawn camp, you can come back with your ults and just stop them at the next spot, which is exactly what happened for Growluwu. They were just able to keep the cart stopped for as long as possible.
All right, and we see Frog for Life swapping over to this Sombra to try and maybe slow Team Growluwu down in the backline. And already we see Danger Close Red has opted for the typical hold on top of Big Earls. And so they're going to let Team Growluwu take this first corner, which, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a mistake here. I'm not sure. They don't have too many opportunities to stop this cart. Right now, we see Growluwu has decided to just jump on top of Big Earls and see if they can find some value there. And in the meantime, Egg Cushion getting some big picks and a lot of value on that Widow, finding a headshot on Paradroid and a body shot on Final Gambit to finish them out. Tall, in the meantime, is able to take out another member of Danger Close Red. And we've got Vadi here on the Bastion, who is flanked around to the high ground and is now just taking those off angles to make sure that Danger Close Red can't do anything.
Growluwu basically all he did was basically charge straight into the backline. You can just type in chat space created. Kartik emoting on point right now, but now this recontest is coming in.
Yeah, recontest comes in, and we see Saucer has decided to swap onto Wrecking Ball, but Saucer goes down very quickly due to that massive gun from Vadi, although Vadi is slept because of Paradote, but it's not going to be enough as members of Team Growluwu continue to just be oppressive on this card and are not giving any quarter to any of the members on Danger Close Red, and that's going to be another quick map for Team Growluwu.
Yeah, and just echoing like what I was saying after the first map, there's a lot of indecisiveness coming from Danger Close Red, and Growluwu is not only recognizing this, but they are abusing that fact as well. They are taking fights faster, they are taking fights earlier than Danger Close Red would expect, to the point where the tanks from Danger Close Red haven't even staged for their dive yet, while Growluwu already has their tanks onto their backline. So it's just one of those things where this might not exactly be something that Danger Close Red can immediately overcome. This is definitely going to be a learning experience for them. But Team Growluwu being able to find all these openings to attack earlier than DCR are expecting, catching them off guard, it just keeps DCR just in this endless cycle of maybe coming up with a plan, but then the fight's already happening. Or maybe they're just walking up and they don't exactly know how to break all these angles that Growluwu are taking, because it just looks like the confidence coming from the tanks of Growluwu is buying so much space that DCR is respecting, that just allows players like Vati and Egg Cushion to just take as much space on these DPS picks as possible. Vati on this Bastion just being able to just walk wherever he wants and post up. And we did see Paradote get that sleep dart onto him at that one point, but that's really all you can do when your tanks are being just pushed in so hard. And then Egg Cushion on that Widow just getting a lot of picks. But we do have, looks like, Reed in for Vati. So going into this third map, we are going to see Vati out. So maybe no more Bastion. We'll have to see what Reed ends up pulling out for this third map.
I
I'm not
imagine.
sure what map they said they were going to play.
No, I don't think we have a map pick yet, but I imagine that DCR is probably going to be pretty happy to not see a Bastion in the next map, regardless of what it is. And I really noticed that I really noticed those angles that you were talking about, specifically on that last map on Route 66. The map control that Team Growluwu had was just incredible when compared to DCR. You know, like you said, Bastion could go wherever he wanted, and that was because I think of the smart plays and decisions on the shot of whoever the shot caller is on Team Growluwu.
Yeah.
And it looks like. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, and exactly right. It's one thing that we saw on Growluwu's attack on Route 66. One thing how a lot of these payload maps are designed is there's usually a central area where if you control that area, you can, with your tanks, you can easily control the flanks surrounding it. And that, on first point, is big Earls. That's why a lot of defenders like to play there. It makes it easy to rotate your tanks to wherever they need to be to stop any flanks from happening. But if you're the attackers and you're allowed to take that central area, then all of a sudden you have the space. You have all the space. You can take the area over by the cliff face. You can take the area over by that mini or over by caves. And it becomes one of those things where you fight for that central area so that you can have these flank routes that kind of branch off of the central area. Especially once we get to second point, that's where it's very obvious, where if you play on Saloon, it allows you to play maybe DPS up on top of the gas station as well, and also opens up the flank towards the mega as well. So just all this map control is what makes Escort one of my favorite map types, especially one of my favorites to coach, is because it's all about map control. It's all about controlling these flanks, and also how the payload can alter where you take fights and how you roll with that. And Eichenwald, which is going to be the next map, is definitely going to be another one of those maps where we'll see it, especially on second point, where something that I always talk about, second point, the streets phases of payload maps and hybrid maps, is generally something where for the first half of the point, you're fighting over completely different space than the second half of the point. You might be able to see that if we even make the second point. But the first half of second point, you'll be fighting mostly for that high ground. But the second half, you want to have control of that high ground so you can have the bridge, which would be a safe area for your supports, as opposed to just being able to drop onto the attackers as they walk in. But if this is just going to be another quick match, we might not even see second point.
That's true. The way that this is going, yeah.
They are on the defense, which means that if they play just how they were, and looks like Egg Cushion's going to be picking up the Bastion now. So
yeah, the
DCR,
Bastion is still there. Sorry, DCR.
Yeah, you still have to deal with the fucking robot. Or sorry, I let one slip. But but the robot,
deal with the trucking robot, exactly.
You still have to deal with him. But read onto the Sombra as well, and why on the Moira as well. This definitely does look like still mean picks. But
this is not a comp I've ever seen.
Yeah, but we do have the kind of like a rush comp coming in from DCR. It's gonna be the Winston Diva with the Reaper and the Tracer. Very similar to like the meta that we see in the past with the Sombra Reaper.
Absolutely, and it looks like Danger Close Red is gonna push quickly in on Growluwu, and already gets a quick pick on Growluwu. So that's gonna this is already looking better than it has in the past for DCR. And they find Egg Cushion, so they deal with the Bastion. The Bastion is down, the robot is missing, so they can move in. And in fact, I imagine it's probably Fraud for Life already on point, trying to get Growluwu to pull back. And it looks like Kartik, though, is going to find a pick on the main take, Xavier EXE, so that's going to be problematic for Danger Close Red. Mornitron, though, says, get out of here, Kartik. Stop taking out my team, and takes out Kartik in the meantime. Meanwhile, the point is heavily contested, although it still seems to be going over to Danger Close Red, even though Growluwu, though, is coming back in. And Growluwu almost single-handedly re-winning this point for the side of Team Growluwu as the picks start to shift direction. I think that Danger Close Red is going to have to try again, but honestly, that was a pretty good showing for them for their first push.
Yeah, if you're DCR, this is a fantastic change in pace. They are playing aggressive. They are playing as a team. They know who they're wanting to go on. Even though they lost that fight, it already looks way better than it did in the past two maps, where it looks like they have a plan. They're playing aggressive. And now we see they are going to try to fight for this bridge area here.
Absolutely, and Egg Cushion has decided to swap over to the Doom, which is going to give them a little bit more control of that bridge. That is, unless, of course, Mornitron takes him out, which is exactly what happens. So we've got a trade. Both teams are still even, one without their DPS, and the other without their DPS as well, actually. Coalescence is popped by Y, and behind that healing and extra damage, it looks like Team Growluwu is going to clean up once again and send DCR backpacking to a spawn.
Yeah, Final Gambit does find the pick on the Y though, so they will be able to recontest at least a little bit here. But definitely something we see a lot with the Moira Mirrors, which actually, as I say that, Peridot swapped back over to the Ana. Something we see with this Moira Mirrors, EMP in the spawn.
Ooh, comes in and gets 3 out of Danger Close Red, but Peridot trades with a nade, but it's not able to find any value. The Immortality Field comes out, but it's not going to be enough to save the main tank of Team Growluwu, and DCR is making a very quick push to point right now. They just seem to find someone and mow them over and then go on to the next one, and I think we've got a point A cap. We are going to get to see Street Space. Ooh, and Egg Cushion tries desperately to stall, but he is there just a little bit after the point turns over, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Final Gambit was there to take him out.
Yeah, exactly. But now, like I said, we're going to see the Streets phase, but Frog for Life already falling.
Yeah, and it looks like nobody's going to wait for the cart. They're just going to start the fight as it is. Tal getting purple again off of a nade from Peridot. She's hit quite a few excellent nades this match. Team Growluwu, though, still pushing pretty hard and pretty quick. They're going to take a very early fight here with the cart. There's a Meteor Strike coming in from Egg Cushion. Let's see if it finds anybody. No, it doesn't, but the picks are still coming in for the side of Growluwu. Although Danger Close Red is doing some work as well, but on point, it looks like we've got 2 members of DCR and 1 of Growluwu. Nope, take that back, make that just 2 members of DCR. It looks like they're going to get this, but they're going to have to deal with this Kartik, who's still up top here. Xavier EXE comes back in to help out. Reed takes out Mornitron, and it looks like, yeah, this fight is finally going to go. Oh, nope, never mind. Just as I say that, the fight starts again. And Team Growluwu is saying, nope, we're not going to let you push it any further than this. And they take control once again.
This fight, or this match, it looks like deathmatch. I'm going to be honest. It looks like deathmatch. There's just constant fighting. But one thing that is constant is Growluwu walking around like he owns the place. And like I said, he just killed both tanks. He demeched the D.Va, killed Xavier. Growluwu is completely uncontested on this Roadhog. Just absolutely just owning the place, getting all the picks into the backline. And honestly, something we saw on the Ryan as well, he just kind of runs into the enemy team's backline.
Ooh, Growluwu gets a hook on Mornitron, and Nano comes out onto Xavier EXE. So we've got a Nano Monkey now looking to find value inside, but it looks like it's not going to be enough from the side of... but I take that back. We get a 5-man EMP from Reed, and yeah, it looks like Team Growluwu is just going to clean up from that EMP. That was just massive. Absolutely massive, and this is ridiculous. We're getting now a spawn camp from the side of Team Growluwu on Speeds. But as I say that, it looks like there's actually a back cap happening right now, and Kartik and Tal are able to stop the back cap, though. I'm not entirely sure who that was.
It was Frog for Life on to the Sombra, and one thing that was a little bit unfortunate is those respawns were the reason why they were able to get so far with that point. It is pushing again, but... And actually, this is going to favor DCR. They are getting picks in the fight as well. But Growluwu is just sitting on the point, trying to prevent the back cap. But now... Yeah, but it doesn't look like they're going to be too effective in it. Although the rest of the spawns are coming out now for Team Growluwu. There's 3 of them on cart. And Frog for Life is trying to bother them at the moment, but can't really do anything. Growluwu throws a hook, but misses. And now DCR is able to... big bomb coming in from the side of Mornitron. Can they catch anybody? No, they do. They get Growluwu, and that is a big... Final Gambit coming in with a die. He's able to catch one. That's 2 big picks now for the side of DCR. Egg Cushion, though, trying to even it up with the help of Reed and Y, and they're able to get a few picks, and it looks like DCR... Yeah, they're not going to quite be able to get the cart back. And I got to tell you,
even though Team Growluwu has been dominant once again on this, DCR is getting more value than they probably should be right now off of these back caps.
Yeah, and now we're just seeing the final staggers. Yep, Growluwu does get slipped by Peridot, but she will not be able to touch the point, and it is going to be quite far on point B. This is definitely not something that you can't hold. But like you said, getting a lot of value out of the back caps. However, one thing that I always try to teach people is that back caps are kind of a gimmick way to win the game, and once you've done it once and once they've reacted to it, it's very, very unlikely that it's actually going to be able to happen again. And honestly, the most that you can get from a back cap is pulling some members back to deal with it. That allows the rest of your team to push forward, especially when you have Sombra doing the back capping. She can just translocate back to wherever her translocator is and come back and help her team. But if she gets someone like Growluwu on that Roadhog to come contest that cart, he's going to have to walk all the way back to the fight. And that's part of the reason why DCR was able to get out of that spawn camp. But it's definitely a different look from DCR here. They're playing a lot more aggressive. They're playing together. This is very good news for them. And if they're able to keep this up and they're able to keep the aggression up and be able to hold them here or even hold them somewhere on B, they got the cart fairly far.
Absolutely, they really did. And, I think this might be, maybe a sign of Team Growluwu getting a little bit overconfident. And when you get overconfident, that's when you start making mistakes, and that's when you start playing sloppy. So let's see, if DCR can bring this back as both teams come out. We see Tal opting to go over to the Winston now, and Egg Cushion on the Echo, which is a look that we haven't seen so far yet from them. Quick battle happening on point, though. It looks like Frog for Life is able to take out Growluwu, so that's main tank down now for the side of Team Growluwu. And that should be a pretty good hold for DCR as long as they don't make any mistakes and they can work together as a team here and just stay solid. But we see Frog for Life finding value again, taking out Y, so that's big heals down from the side of them as well. And Mornitron finding a rock. I believe they actually hit Egg Cushion, which is a pretty fantastic shot right there. Immortality Field coming out, though, from the side of Team Growluwu to try and keep the rest of this team up as they wait for Reed to respawn and hopefully come back quickly so they can keep the DPS pressure up on Team Growluwu. Couple of picks coming out, though, for the side of Team Growluwu, although Final Gambit getting a lot of value on that Junkrat. Egg Cushion, though, trying to take out Peridot in the backline, and it looks like Egg Cushion does, so that is both heals down for the side of DCR, but Final Gambit's going to try and switch things back over to DCR, and they're able to get Egg Cushion, which is big, but Reed trying to answer with a barrage, and it looks like Tao, with the help of Kartik, is finally going to clean up the rest of DCR, and that's going to be point A cap for Team Growluwu.
Yeah, it was quite a big investment of ults, though. They did use the barrage, they did use the Ant Matrix, but Egg Cushion and this double Flyers comp, honestly, probably kind of a meme. But as soon as they start looking at Reed, Egg Cushion is going to go aggressive. As soon as they look at Egg Cushion, Reed's going to go aggressive. It's actually very nice how they're playing this. But we do see DCR going underneath. I actually do like this rotation, but they are a little bit split at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Team Growluwu is really taking advantage of the fact that they are split. Growluwu dropping on Final Gambit, and we see Egg Cushion coming out with a copy, but onto Lucio. I don't know if that was a mistake or if that was intended. Maybe they're looking to get a beat here, but I don't see why they would need it because the kills just keep coming in for their side, and the cart just keeps getting pushed. It is almost underneath the bridge at this point, and if DCR is going to recontest this, they're going to have to do it now.
There's no such thing as mistakes with Egg Cushion, just happy accidents. And and that Lucio pick, Kartik almost got slept off the map, but barely gets saved landing on that flank. But Peridot gets on the flank, taken out by Tal.
Yeah, Tal finds the yeet string on Peridot and takes them out. And I don't know if DCR is going to be able to touch. No, they don't. And Growluwu, Team Growluwu, takes a very convincing and very fast 3-0 win over DCR.
That's a C9. That is
Yes.
a textbook C9 right there. But honestly, that was a fun map just to watch in general. It was so chaotic. This entire match was so chaotic, but just in the entertaining way. You know what I mean? And it's just very. There wasn't really that much room for analysis because they were constantly fighting. But definitely, what we saw just in general for Growluwu is just that aggression. Just taking all of the space that they needed, especially Growluwu doing a great job at, even if he might have been just messing around a little bit, he's diving into the backline, but he was creating a lot of space for Egg Cushion, Reed, and Vati to just take whatever. And honestly, I think that is worthy of the player of the match because even though we saw Reed, Egg Cushion, and Vati in the kill feed a lot, we also saw Growluwu in the kill feed a lot as well, getting a lot of picks on these flanks. And then when he was playing like the Ryan and the Winston, just making so much space for the rest of his team.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when you're a DPS player and your tank is giving you that much space to work with, it is just so much fun. You can just sit on the flanks, you can sit on like these high grounds, and it's just a shooting gallery, and you get so much value. And it's definitely something that DCR couldn't really deal with, where they started to pick it up in Eichenwald, but at that point, you're already down 0-2. You kind of just have to throw whatever it is at the wall and hope it sticks. But it's definitely Growluwu was one of those players that just he just took over the game, completely commanded.
Absolutely.
Like this is my game. This is not a team game. This is not Team Growluwu. This is Team Growluwu. I am on this flank, and I'm going to kill your backline. And it's just something where he just owned the game. He owned the maps and everything. Like he's like, "That's your spawn? No, it's my spawn." That's exactly how he played, and it was able to set up his team for success just across the map, just taking these flanks, taking those power positions. And it's honestly like the best thing you can ask from a tank is when they're just aggressive to the point where your DPS can just go wherever they want.
Absolutely. And we are going to take a quick break before we get an interview from the side of Team Growluwu. And I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring too for Growluwu for MVP of the match. So I think we can go ahead and call that for everybody. And yeah, we will be back in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, and we are back, and we have Egg Cushion in here with us, one of the DPS standout players from the side of Team Growluwu. How are you doing tonight, Egg Cushion?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you bet. And the first thing I want to say is congratulations, because with this win, that means you have clinched a spot in the playoffs. So congratulations. How does that feel, knowing that you don't have to work too hard anymore?
Thank you. We really appreciate it. We last week we had our double scrim block. Well, we actually upped it to the quad scrim block.
Oh
We've
wow!
been
So
scrimming
you
a lot.
you
Yeah.
You put in a lot of work. Okay, so it was funny because at the beginning of this broadcast, I mentioned that I'd heard a couple stories about Team Growluwu, and one of the stories I'd heard is that you all weren't planning on scrimming at all. So I think that actually probably makes a lot of the teams that you've beat feel better, knowing that no, you are having to practice
Mhm.
to play this at such a high standout level.
We've been putting a lot of work into our team play and our overall skill. So yeah.
Well, it's certainly showing. Cesian, do you have any questions for Ed Cushion?
Yeah, one thing I want to ask is, uh, in the previous weeks, we saw you playing a lot of uh, things that were like a little bit closer to like the meta comps that you'd see. Today, it looked like you guys are playing mystery heroes. Was there like very much thought process
Um,
behind picks you were picking?
we've actually tried these comps a lot in our scrims, and they've been showing a lot of success. So we decided to try it out in the official matches.
Well, it would
Yeah,
definitely
well,
work.
I'll
And
say.
yeah, one thing that I'm sure everyone wants to ask about, the Bastion. Are you guys just what made you guys say like we want to really incorporate Bastion into some of our strategies?
Oh, he's fun.
He is he is fun
Well,
indeed,
he's fun for six of the players. For six of the players, he isn't. But
Yeah,
yeah, that is
absolutely.
very true.
But yeah, now,
Um,
one last question. How do you feel going into your next match? The next match is going to be into the playoffs, and you're be playing some of the other strong teams like maybe Paradise Tempest or Otter Oxide. Um, how do you feel going into these playoffs? Do you feel confident?
I know with all our scrims that we have a good chance at actually winning playoffs.
excellent, excellent.
Excellent.
And excellent, exactly, excellent. Um, and how did your team feel going into this match, knowing that both you and DCR were 3-0?
We felt pretty confident. Confidence is important, so we felt really confident in our skill, and yeah.
That confidence came through, especially during those spawn camps, which actually you spawn camped on every single map. Now that I think about it, you spawn camped on Lijiang, you spawn camped on Route 66, and you spawn camped on Eichenwald. That is saying something against another 3-0 team.
Yeah, we've been incorporating that into our scrims. It's shown to like not only like we spawn camp them, they can't really do much, right? It also has like a mental effect.
It does. It does. I think the mental game was big here. I think you hit them hard right out of the gates, and they never quite recovered. And let's see here. Do you have any final questions for Ed Cushion, Cesian?
No, I think that's about it.
Before we let you go, do you have any shout outs that you want to give to anybody
Yes.
on your team? Anyone
uh,
else? Yeah, let's hear it.
I want to shout out everyone on my team. Meow, King Jordan, and yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. Fantastic showing tonight. We're going to go ahead and close off this broadcast. Once again, you've been watching Owlet Season 4, Week 4. My name is Warren Juggle God Hammond. And once again, I've been joined here with Cesian. Be sure to check out the other matches that are happening right now, and another one that I believe just started as well. We had one that started at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're just finishing up this broadcast, you can go jump right over to that one and see how it's going, or any of the other ones that are still happening right now. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you in the production booth and the rest of the Owlet community, and GG's, and see you next time.